to thank Mr. Bond and Mr. Touliatos for their generous invitation. I used to be an athlete, a bodybuilder, and now that I retired, I'm a doctor and an author myself. And I focus on the medical professional rules regarding the use of drugs in sports, mainly as a public health issue. So it all started at the ancient Greek Olympic Games in Olympia, 776 BC, and the motto was Silvius Salvius Fortius, meaning in Latin, faster, higher, stronger, to enhance the performance. At the Pancration, it was a wrestling and boxing and martial arts, everything all together. The athletes used to eat bull testicles as a performance enhancer. And why bulls testicles? Because testicles contain testosterone, that is a male androgen, and it enhances performance. Now, in the modern Olympic Games, 1904 was held in St. Louis, in the United States. It was speculated that a cyclist used the narcotic strychnine as a painkiller and increasing stamina threshold. We go just before the World War II in 1935, where German scientists isolated testosterone molecule in a laboratory and manufactured the synthetic form of testosterone, the steroid molecule. Later, 4 years later, in 1939, they were awarded with a Nobel Prize. Now, during the Second World War II in 1940, testosterone was extensively abused from Nazis to sustain injuries and malnutrition during the World War II. The main drawbacks were aggressiveness and stamina, and it was something really useful in order to sustain anything during the war. Furthermore, armed forces distributed amphetamines to the soldiers to counteract fatigue, elevate mood, and heighten endurance. Now, after the World War II, it was the pioneer Dr. John Ziegler from the United States who manufactured androgenic anabolic steroids. And these are synthetic testosterone derivatives. And steroids initially were not made by scientists for athletes. They were manufactured actually for the treatment of specific diseases, for medical purposes. So the following decade, the Eastern Bloc countries developed the doping methods in order to promote communism. It was a corrupted system, and politicians, scientists, trainers, athletes were parts of this chain. During the Cold War era, there was a conflict between the East and the West in the Olympic Games. Now we come to the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal, Canada, where the International Olympic Committee, IOC, enters the anti-doping control methods, and it's the first time we have doping control. Later, on the Seoul Olympics 1988, it was Ben Johnson's Canada doping scandal that revealed the steroid abuse in track athletics. As we know, Ben Johnson was a former Jamaican, and he was a 100-meter athlete. So, after the Ben Johnson scandal in 1990, the Berlin Wall fall and the end of the Cold War era, the gurus and the coaches abandoned Europe to immigrate in the United States asking for a political asylum. Their know-how, strategies, and their knowledge, along with the advanced technology available from the Americans, developed the new methods of doping. So peptides like growth hormone, insulin growth factor 1, EPO, erythropoietin, are the new weapons of performance-enhancing drugs. Now, in 1995, the extensive doping abuse of East Germany is exposed in documents, type of drugs, doses, programs, and proper withdrawal timing prior to the Games. Almost 70% of the athletes who joined the Munich 1972 Olympics were chemically enhanced, meaning doped. Sadly, parents had no idea what the coaches had given to the children. Eventually, former champions pressed charges against the trainers and physicians for non-reversible medical side effects. In 2000, during the Sydney Olympics in Australia, synthetic EPO erythropoietin is speculated to be widely abused during endurance athletes, meaning cyclists or cross-country skiing or marathon running, triathlon, and sprinting occasionally in Sydney Olympics. EPO increases oxygen delivery to the muscle, improving endurance. A number of elite cyclists in the Tour de France, like Lance Armstrong, have admitted to using EPO. Now we come to 2003 at the Balco scandal revealed in the United States. THC, tetrahydrotestosterone. It was a synthetic anabolic steroid. It was the first non-detected drug, meaning the clear. It was manufactured as a performance enhancer for non-medical purposes. Victor Condon was the boss of Balco, meaning Bay Area Laboratory Corporation, and Patrick Arnold was the chemist who synthesized the clear. It was an anabolic steroid in liquid form with high liver toxicity. Martin Jones and Tim Montgomery, US sprinters, were convicted and sent to prison through numerous of emails that ensured the use. It was the first time where athletes were suspended without being tested positive. So everything happened by emails. So here we have Martin Jones, Tim Montgomery, Henry Jansen, and the Balco Victor Condon scandal. Now we come to the Athens Olympics 2004, where Kostas Kenteris and Katerina Fano refused to undergo any doping control in Athens Olympic Games. Allegedly, their coach Chris Tsekos was involved with Patrick Arnold and THG through emails. We have the athletes and their cards. This is myself with Patrick Arnold last March when I visited the United States, and I shared with him a picture giving my book. I had the privilege interacting with Patrick Arnold through internet and exchanging valuable ideas regarding the PEDs used in sports. So what are mainly PEDs, the classification of performance-enhancing drugs? We have androgenic anabolic steroids. We have peptide hormones and growth factors. We have central nervous system stimulants. We have beta-2 agonists and beta-2 blockers. We have hormone and metabolic modulators, like thyroid hormones. We have diuretics. We have painkillers and narcotics. We have anti-inflammatory hormones, and there's also a method, blood transfusion, in cyclists and marathon runners. However, supplements are not banned by IOC. And of course, there's the prohibited list officially from USADA and WADA, the main anti-doping organizations. So let's summarize the side effects of performance-enhancing drugs. So a variety of different systems are involved, like stroke and blood clots in the circulatory system. We have baldness, male pattern baldness. We have development of breast, which is gynecomastia. We have liver damage, urinary bowel problems. We have oligospermia, meaning infertility. We have heart enlargement. We have aching joints, aggressive behavior, so-called white rays, prostate size enlarges. We have also the risk of tendon injuries and ruptures. So mainly different systems like liver, cardiovascular, urinary, kidneys. The white rays involves the psychiatric issues, and also the musculoskeletal issues that involve joints, ligaments, and tendons. So in the male, actually we have the decreased sperm count, the abdominal sperm shape shrinking, the testicles, and increase of hair growth. And in females, we have the decreased breast size tissue. As we know, fertility goes down during the steroid abuse. what happens is in females, side effects are irreversible, like clitoris enlargement, like enlarged vocal cords. That means the women cannot, they don't have this feminine voice anymore. And we have the, as I told you, the enlarged clitoris, and infertility, of course. So the severe side effects of PED abuse involve the cardiovascular system. We have left ventricular hypertrophy, myocardial infarction, cardiomegaly, heart enlargement, heart failure, hypertension, strokes, coagulation abnormalities, leading to prolonged bleeding time, increased risk of thrombosis, stroke, pulmonary embolism, and heart arrhythmias. The hepatic system involves pharmaceutical hepatitis, cholestatic jaundice, Pelicis hepatis, and hepatocellular carcinoma, which is the last stage. The musculoskeletal involves premature closing of the epiphyseal growth centers in long bones during puberty when teenagers use steroids that may result in stunted growth. Acromegaly is the side effect of GH abuse and is revealed with protruding or enlarged jaw, forehead, elbows, hands, and toes. Now, the psychiatric sphere involves neurosis, hypomania, mania, during the exposure characteristic by irritability, aggressiveness, insomnia, exaggeration, self-confidence, hyperactivity, reckless behavior, and occasional psychotic symptoms, known as roid rage or androgen emotional toxicity syndrome. Depressive symptoms during withdrawal of the drugs, characterized by emotional instability, depressed mood, loss of interest in usual activities, anorexia, loss of libido, and occasional suicidal activity. The urogenital system involves kidney damage to the glomerulus or renal tubules, kidney tumors, infertility, urinary tract stones. We have increased risk of leukemia with APO or growth hormone, Wilms tumor, prostatic hyperplasia, leading to prostate cancer, and hepatocellular carcinoma. Now, as a personal note, I want to say the following. As a former bodybuilder and light heavyweight champion, I do believe that doping is a fact in sports. Simply, if you don't take it, you won't make it. PEDs use is almost a fact in modern sports, and athletes basically hide and seek their use. The reasons for that are training level is exhausting and very demanding. Competition level is way too high. And mostly financial rewards are very attractive. Athletes are abused by a global system of billions as modern entertainers in an arena. No doping, no performance enhancer, no records, no audience, no sponsors, no incomes, no awards. Therefore, it's up to the spectators what they really prefer. The showtime with chemically enhanced athletes or drug-free athletes with moderate performance. In the modern line, assuming that the majority of super athletes are doped, the overall champion is the one who is genetically gifted, meaning talented, mentally and physically both, along with the best team of physicians, of course. What differentiates an athlete from a champion is the will and the skill. However, the will has to be stronger than the skill. This is something that the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, said. So this was my speech, and if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Do we have the other mic?
Yeah, thank you.
Right, do we have any questions? Being unusually shy today. Right, we've got one over there, yeah, not Yana? How often do you think athletes in big competitions are using performance-enhancing drugs?
What kind of sport? I believe 50%, yes. 50%.
Which are the sports that actually have the biggest problem?
Track athletics, wrestling, Olympic weightlifting, and swimming.
What about cycling?
Yes, and cycling, yes. Oh, yes, you're correct.
Okay, we've got, yeah. Do you believe Michael Phelps?
Yes, certainly, I believe. Certainly. But it's a cover-up system. I mean, his achievements are out of this world. And I believe his records are going to stand for the whole 21st century. He managed to break the Mark's speech Olympic record from 1972, and he was outstanding. He collected about 20 medals. But as I told you, Michael Phelps is a phenomenal athlete. We shouldn't neglect his supreme talent. But no matter, behind him there is a team of physicians who supports his performance in order to promote the United States and the whole system.
How is it that some athletes like Usain Bolt can go through 3 Olympics, World Championships, and he's not been caught?
Yes,
is
it's
there
funny
a
because
clean, or is it that he's just not been caught? What's the issue?
I believe the second, because if Usain was faster, then nobody would attend the Olympic Games, and he's a symbol. I believe there are certain athletes who are not on purpose. They're undercover, and they support this billion-dollar system. Strangely, his teammate Asaf Power was battered. So you realize here that there is a kind of cover-up, and they prefer some guys to get undercover in order to promote all this system and support Jamaica. And Jamaica is the opening of the United States in the spring, you know.
At what age do they start taking?
Sorry?
At what age do the top athletes start taking the steroids? Because Usain Bolt was.
Yeah, he was Italian.
At a very young age.
Yes, you're correct. He was as a teenager also. Well, soon after the age of 20, when the official place closed, then you don't have stomach growth side effects. And of course, under the guidance of the doctor and chemists and physicians, ergotherapists, nutritionists, then I believe it all starts after the age of 20.
This year had a question. Yeah.
Have you ever considered taking steroids yourself?
Yeah, as I told you, I was abusing steroids big time for 15 years.
And what made you get off?
Because the contradiction thing about me was I was a doctor myself. So I was using steroids during my residency. And I was an athlete myself from Athens College School. So after I completed my residency and I finished my athletic career, I wanted to give all this, to enclose all my knowledge in my books regarding the medical prevention rules to the new generation. I want to read you something that I have. Do you mind listening to my personal note here? So listen. If I have regretted the use of chemical enhancement, it's mainly due to two reasons, as I mentioned in one of my interviews. Because of my health issues, and because steroids abuse costed me in terms of social relationship with relatives, friends, and my ex-wife. I had to isolate from people in society in general in order to improve my physique while I was spending all my savings for my preparation, drugs, supplements, food, massage, tanning. I almost felt like a junkie who was desperately searching for his dose in order to feel better or to perform better at the gym or even sexually. I have to become occasionally psychotic as a result of the highly allergenic compounds. Under the psychological effect of stimulants, my road rage was so severe that it forced me to violence against materials, objects, and mostly got me into fights. Afterwards, I'm sorry, I let down my parents. Since the shows were off, I faced several times severe depression, where life seemed empty and real meaningless. Mood swings and emotional instability were quite common symptoms. Since bodybuilding was not my primary goal, it was hard for me to accept that the party was over, while I had to focus on my medical practice and biology in particular. I have to give a valiant struggle with my inner demons and push myself to the limit. Basically, it was equal to a rehabilitation process that I went through. I wish I knew back then what I know now. I thought I was kind of a Superman and someone special with supreme looks. But I was just another egopath, selfish and arrogant, who tried to earn self-respect from his vanity. Definitely, I was suffering from the Angelis complex and muscle dysmorphia. I was totally obsessed with my body image and the way people look at me. Competitive bodybuilders are potentially insecure individuals with a sick body and an ill mind. And what I mean by that is whatever shines ain't gold. It's the other side of the coin, the one that is regularly revealed, and usually people tend to hide it and avoid it because simply truth hurts. Now this is the sincere confession of a former competitive bodybuilder who sacrificed several aspects of his life in order to accomplish one of his life dreams. All of my wisdom and knowledge are enclosed within my books. I read it in order to protect the others and make them to avoid my mistakes. At least choose for their decision knowing the price they have to pay for the vain goals. It seems unfair, born with one kidney, but it seems idiotic ending up with one kidney as a result of your poor choices. Knowledge is power, while ignorance is dangerous.
Do we have any more questions? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank Dr. Touliatos. Now, you have donated the book, which will be in the library. This is in Greek. Is it coming out in English,
Yes,
did you say?
in English in Amazon next year.
Okay. So we'll put this in the library. I know that performance-enhancing drugs are on the syllabus of some of the students. Okay, so I'd like to say thank you, and one more round of applause. Do you have any other motions for the students? With the supervisor, please, when you're ready.
Hi, I just wanted to raise something with you that I feel really strongly about. You've all received an email about the shoebox collection that we're doing this year that the Senate are organising. I'm sorry guys for speaking instead of you, because I feel really strongly about